Hi guys, Buddy here. Welcome back to my YouTube videos, and today I'm lucky enough to interview Lucy McEvoy, AFLW player, and I hope you like it. I'm good. Hi guys, Buddy here. Today I'm excited to interview AFLW star and Carlton gun Lucy McEvoy. Hi Lucy, thank you for taking my call today. Can I please ask a few questions?
Absolutely. Thanks for having me on, buddy. I look forward to it.
Awesome. Your football journey started in Ocean Grove. How did this happen and where did it take you to?
Yeah, I started Auskick with my brother, so that's how it started, and followed him through junior pathways with the boys. And then once I was 14, switched over to the girls. And then, from then on, made a few representative sides, Vic Country and Geelong Falcons and those sorts of teams, which sort of led me to where I am now. I was pretty lucky that I got to go through the full pathway of the NAB AFLW Academy as well. So I think I would have been one of the first intakes for that since it started. So I was one of the lucky ones to have the pathway there for me to go through to make AFLW.
Is it true the Ocean Grove Cobras name an under 10 and under 12 female teams after you? How proud were you?
Yeah, that is true. I was a bit surprised when I got told that they were going to name some teams after me, but it's something that I am proud of, and the fact that I continued to play with the boys through under 10s, under 12s, and under 14. I was pretty lucky though that the boys I played with were really lovely. Ocean Grove's a great community, and I'm still mates with some of the guys that I played with way back in junior football, which has probably been a big part as to why I enjoy it so much today.
In 2019, you were drafted pick 2 to Carlton. How surprised were you and how did your family and friends react?
Well, I suppose it was a big shock at the time. I kind of knew that I was going to go to a Melbourne club because I didn't choose Geelong as my nominated local area, which they do in the AFLW. But it was a great surprise to go to Carlton. I had a couple of meetings with them before the draft, and they were fantastic. The club seemed really great, and I think my parents in particular were pretty happy that I ended up there as well. They'd been through the whole process of the interviews and the meetings, and they quite enjoyed what Carlton had to offer. And it's a funny story that Daniel Halfter, head coach, at one of our meetings had a beer with Dad, and that got Dad over the line. And he wanted me to go to Carlton. But everyone was really happy for me because they knew that I wanted to move to Melbourne and start my football journey in the AFLW at a Melbourne club.
Cool. You were number 13. Did you get to choose?
I did get to choose. There was a couple that I was tossing up. I was tossing up between number 8 and number 13, but I think, I could be wrong, but I think I was number 13 for one of my back in the Cobras. And from then on, it's kind of been my favourite number ever since, so I couldn't go past it.
Is your nickname really named after an Australian tennis player?
Yes, it is. How did you find that out? Sadly, I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, being Bernard Tomic's lookalike, but we just go along with it.
I don't really have a nickname as yet. How did you find last season with COVID restrictions?
It was pretty frustrating at times, just because we weren't sure who we were going to play or what the team was going to look like week to week. And obviously being part-time in the AFLW, there was talks of going into hubs, which was going to be difficult because girls work full-time or study full-time. It was pretty frustrating at times. I'm glad the season got done, and we didn't have to go into hubs, but hopefully heading into next season, when everyone gets vaccinated and we're all, it's all little bit clearer around COVID, hopefully be a lot less stressful.
Who is the best player you have played with or against, and why?
The best player that I've played with would have to be Maddie Prespark, my teammate. She's obviously won a league BNF already, and she's 1 year older than I am. So she's been, fantastic. She's very skillful, very competitive, probably one of the most competitive teammates I have. And I used to play against her in juniors in the Nationals when I played for Vic Country, and she was in Metro. She worst one to play against as well because she was so good and you can never compete her.
Growing up, who were your heroes?
My heroes growing up have to be my parents for sure, but also probably Steph Gilmore, the surfer, just because she played a massive role in the surfing world and paving the way for girls surfing. And now, I don't know if you know, but they've got equal pay in the surfing, equal prize money, which is pretty fantastic. And she played a big part in pushing that for them.
Are you currently studying? Why do you want to become a paramedic, not a doctor or nurse?
Unfortunately, sorry, it might have broken up a little bit there. I missed the second part of that question. I have studied paramedicine though because I'll be honest, the score I needed wasn't as high to, as I said, become a doctor, and I feel like being the first responder and hands-on at the scene is more my style as well. Gets the blood pumping and, I don't know, it just seems really intriguing to me.
I heard it was because you don't want to wipe bums.
Yep, that is true as well. I'm not a fan of that side of nursing in hospitals, so you're true there.
Do you see yourself as a leader, and would you like to be captain one day?
I do see myself as a little bit of a leader, I suppose. I do have a long way to go though, and I look at my current captain now, and Karen Harrington, and see how she goes about it, and know that I've got a lot to learn if I want to get to where she is and the leader that she is. Captain's not something that's crossed my mind yet. I think maybe one day, but at the moment it's probably just discovering my own leadership a little bit more and taking bits and pieces of some of the other leaders around me at Carlton.
What advice would you give to any junior wanting to make the AFL?
One piece of advice that I would give is to just enjoy it as much as you can in junior level. Enjoy training because ultimately that's what's going to get you to the AFL. If you're enjoying it, you're training hard. Because sometimes if you're training hard and it sucks and you're like, I don't really want to do this. But if you can make it as fun as possible, you'll never want to quit doing it. So I think, just enjoy it as much as you can and make your environment as fun as possible. And one reason we all play footy is our friends. So bounce off your friends and drive each other and, make it just a really great place to be and something you really want to be doing.
I hope people take on this advice. I know I will. AFLW is expanding and the competition keeps improving. What improvements have you seen at your level?
What improvements have I seen at our level? Definitely the skills is a big one. Obviously, if you look at the first year of AFLW to now, the skills have been incredible, and I think that's because we now have junior pathways for girls to follow through from when they're 8 or when you start Auskick all the way through till they get drafted, which is fantastic that they now have equal opportunity and they have the chance to, I suppose, to follow that pathway.
What does season 2022 look like for Carlton?
Hopefully they're better than season 2021, that's for sure. We certainly know that last season wasn't ideal and what we wanted to do. So going into next season, we're really trying to set the standard early now in pre-season and all the way through till we finish pre-season going, and then playing games. We want to really just be driving each other and pushing each other 100% every session, and hopefully, making finals and going all the way. That's why we play footy, to win, and winning's fun. So, to win the premiership is definitely what we're aiming for.
Last question. Tell us something about Lucy McEvoy that most people don't know.
Good question. I'm not going to lie, buddy. I'm a pretty boring person. There's not a lot to me that people don't already know. Trying to think. I don't know if I've really got anything. I'm a little bit boring like that. You got me stumped. I'm going to have to pass on that question. I actually don't have anything. I'm a pretty open person.
Thanks so much for your time. I know you have inspired a lot of girls around the country, but especially here in Ocean Grove. I hope your amazing football journey continues and that you taste some final success with the Blues.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate you taking the time to ask me a couple of questions.
Wasn't Lucy great? See you in the next one, but I have to tell you something. Please subscribe and like because I'm at 85 and I nearly got 100 subscribers.